Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Truth is, almost everyone uses headphones, but the other truth is not all headphones are made for everyone. Introducing JLab, headphones as versatile as you are. JLab's diverse collection of headphones has something for everyone in every moment. For travel, you can use Epic Lux ANC over-ear headphones. For the smallest fit ever, check out the JBuds Mini. JLab has so many versions of headphones for all the different versions of, well, you. Look for the blue box at retailers everywhere or shop jlab.com and use code Iliza for 15% off your order today.
Lemonada.
Ask me, ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions. Leave them in the Instagram comment section. Leave them on your Twitter or leave them on your Facebook. We'll see them, we'll read them, then we'll give you answers. You know it, I've got it. I've got the answer. You ask me, I'll tell you anything.
It's our first week as a Patreon show.
Well, we've been Patreon, but
As a tiered paid Patreon show.
yes, this is the word is out now that there's video. I put on a bra for this. That was polite of me, I think.
Okay, that's why you look different. I was like, she looks uplifted. She looks like she's ready to go. She's on the go.
Ready to go because there's video now.
I went out this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I went out on a Saturday night and the amount of work, now I didn't have to put this in, but that I put in just to feel my best and look my best.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was going out, the dinner was at 7. I worked out. I took a nap. I did a tiny face peel, a red light mask, a moisturizing mask. I gua sha'd. I put on like layers of makeup. I flat ironed my hair. I used the spray so it wouldn't frizz. Like I had to do so much. I took an ibuprofen, like just to make sure that I wouldn't feel awful the next day. And I think it worked because I had like 2.5 glasses of wine. And it could have been a lot worse, but I was in bed by like 11:30.
That's pretty good.
But like the amount of pre-production that went into this.
Can I tell you, when you post online that you're with friends and they are not friends that I know, I am genuinely upset. I'm like, I don't know them.
Yes, and that is why I do it. To let all my current friends know, like, fucking watch out because you're replaceable.
That I was like, who are they?
Yeah, who are they? They're just they're the moms of the other kids at Sierra's school, and we just all like each other a lot. And I set up this really cool dinner at this like members only club that I'm not a member of. And there was a table of women, many more women behind us. And it turned out like a lot of these women all knew each other and they were having a birthday party. And it was just lovely and elegant. And the dinner was 3 hours long and it was so beautiful. But by the time we were done, I was like, oh yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I've got to go.
No second location.
No, like a hostage. You don't go to the second location.
No.
I thought about it, but by the time we got there, and then the other women were drunker than I was. And so they were having a great time. And I was like, you guys stay. I'm going to sleep. I was the friend that like sent a text. I was like, I'm in the Uber.
Bye.
So I get ride. Because also it was the anxiety of like, I've got to hang out with my daughter all the next day. And I don't want to feel bad. Like, I don't want to be hungover. I want to be present. So it's really hard to get blasted knowing that you have to like fully be in charge the next day.
Yeah.
And I think we all get that.
Did she have a nice day?
She's always having a great day. She hangs out with me. She throws her body against the bathroom door when I'm just trying to like quickly just take a shit, just something. She's like, let me in.
She's trying to bust it down.
I was like, can I have 5 seconds? She's like, sure. And the whole time it was just like, boom, boom. I was like, cool zombie move. Whatever. You buy her an ice cream, you do an activity. You're like, do you want to watch both Frozens back to back? She's like, absolutely.
Perfect day.
Yeah, I'm not one of these And parents, I'm like, let's go do some violin. Let's do some enrichment. We'll get there, but
Yeah.
I work. But the point is I put in a lot of effort and my skin looks flawless all night. And it's because I hydrated and masked and red light therapy. I did everything.
Mm-hmm.
The key to feeling good when you go out is to work out before. Otherwise, you're going to feel like garbage.
Mm.
And I got my first Ozempic accusation.
Online, someone commented it, or did someone say it to you in person?
In person, never. Except to say
Deranged.
something said it. Like, I doubt it's a human.
Yeah,
But
an AI.
I'll take it. That means I look good. If someone is so petty that they're like, I mean, tell me when I would have taken this Ozempic and when I was like, what was I losing? Like, you think I took Ozempic to get rid of my baby? So, but I was like, sure, thanks for the accusation. Stay bitter. Fucking crusty hoe.
Crusty. Oh.
Anyway.
Well, can I do some housekeeping?
Sure.
Okay, people of Patreon, we love you. Thanks for getting on board. It's very fun. We have video episodes. We have secret episodes behind the tier, the That's It tier, $5 a month. But here's a little hot tip I've picked up from some of you. Guess what? If you sign up for the That's It tier via the app on your iPhone, the App Store takes a cut and it will be more than $5.
Ooh.
And that does not go to the podcast. So
I was noticing that some of these were like $7.50 and I was like, I'm not getting that $2.50.
that is that $2.50 from Apple. Correct.
I don't need that. You don't need that.
Go through the browser. Go to your computer browser. I know you're going to have to log in. It's annoying. But otherwise,
It's
the
annoying.
Apple App Store is getting in there and taking a little something off the top.
Think of it as you are saving, like you're being paid $2.50 to just open up a browser and use your thumb a little bit more.
Yeah. So that's the intel that I have. But also people are already so on board and so excited about we are doing, we now have video episodes for the episodes, but we're doing these bonus videos that are only for those That's It subscribers, and they are loving it.
Bonus bite. When I work out, Alicia goes, bonus set, as if, I'm like,
Fun.
oh, look at all this value. Thank you.
Do you deal with this in meetings you're in, like in creative meetings? Because I deal with it where it's like, if a meeting ends early, like, oh, we're just going to give you back 8 minutes of your time. It's like, well, it's not like I have 8 minutes. I can't go to the store. I can't go to like, now I'm just going to sit here for 8 minutes until my next meeting. You're not giving me anything.
Yeah, but for an Instagram scroll session and like sitting outside, that's an eternity. And as a mom, if I can get 5 minutes,
Take
where I'm
5
just like,
minutes.
ooh, no one's talking to me because they're in the kitchen, or I'm just like hiding behind this column because my house has so many columns. There is something dystopian and weird about we're going to give you back your time because like Black Mirror, like you're paying with your time.
Right. Like, oh, here it is. So when I'm running a meeting, I'm like, all right, bye. And I just hang up and let everybody else hang up when they want to. Like, I'm not going to give you a rigmarole about how we're ending the meeting early. I'm like, we're done. Bye. And I just sign off.
The person who hangs up the quickest is the person with the power. That's on a phone call. That's on a Zoom. It's just, okay, bye, you guys, click. You don't want to be the one lingering. Okay, bye, Tan. Bye,
Are we
Jimmy.
hey, can you
Bye,
stay
Lynn.
on? Actually,
Actually, if you could stay on so we could talk shit about the two people who hung up, that'd be great.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it all seems awful. And you should move. You should leave your job, Emily. You just like seem to like love this job. You're like the guy with the ugly wife and you're like, I love my ugly wife. You just like love this job because it does you right. But I don't get it.
Do you remember that guy, not the ugly, but the fat wife? He's like, I love my
On The
curvy
Sopranos?
wife. No, there was like
Oh.
a guy who did like a think piece article. I love my curvy wife, actually.
Curvy is not the same.
But the way he was talking
Women
about
should be
it,
curvy.
he's like, yeah, she's fat, but I love her anyways. This whole thing about what a hero he is for loving his wife. So everybody made fun of it. It was very funny because everybody would just talk about
I
how
feel
much
like I
they love
remember
their
that.
curvy wives.
Shouldn't the language be she's fat and I love her? Because but makes it like I don't like it, but I love her.
Yeah.
I feel like often we mean to say and when we say but. And I'm going to fix that in this episode. Anytime I say and, I'm going to say but. I'm going to write it down. And it'll be a fun drinking game for those of you driving.
Great.
Here we go.
Great. All right.
And
But
let's see if I guarantee you this bit doesn't last. Oh, that mic sounds good right there. I was noticing when I listened back that I think the mic sounds weird. So if you are listening to this and you're not enjoying your audio experience, it's Scott's phone number is 857.
as if Scott would get it wrong.
As if Scott listens to these.
He listens. He listens immediately and with prejudice.
If nothing else, the one thing that Scott has brought to my life that gives me joy over all else is this one soundbite he uses. It's like a gorilla in heat, like, and he's used it a couple times and it makes me laugh out loud every time I hear it.
I now need to know if Scott pulled that from somewhere, if he made it, because some of his sounds he makes himself.
I crawled into an enclosure at the LA Zoo and the gorilla was in heat. Good ear. It was very dangerous, but I appreciate that you guys appreciate it. And I'd also like to shout out the LA Zoo for not pressing charges on that one and the gorilla for not eating me. So thank you guys.
Well, it's time to make your drive to your nursing job a little easier. And you know what? Shout out to all the men we have on our Patreon who participate, who send pictures of their dogs, pictures of their beautiful coffees.
Yeah.
I love it.
Men can drink coffee too.
Unlike other podcasts, you are welcome here, even though you are not the same gender. The same gender. And all of our trans friends, if you're transgender, you are welcome here as well.
Very welcoming.
Thank you.
Dear Iliza and AIE crew, I have a conundrum that I truly need an outside opinion on. Sorry, I was going to burp. A little backstory that feels relevant.
It's a fucking pod. This is professional. Set this up. You were going to, but you didn't do it.
It was like in there, but I didn't do it. But I had to pause. I, 28 female, met my now fiance.
I just feel like if you burp, it's going to be like Dorito shrapnel.
Shrapnel's going to.
It's going to be like stuck in the mic.
If things are coming
like a buckshot.
Things are coming out. You have a bigger pro.
Okay.
You're so proud of that sound effect. Yeah. Do you like my interpretation? Okay. I, 28 female, met my now fiance, 29 male, in grad school in Iowa.
Of course.
He is from the East Coast. I am from the Midwest. We plan to move to the East Coast near his family after graduation, but I was 9 months ahead of him in our program, so I would be moving alone first to a place where I knew only his family. We got
cool.
Fun. We got engaged in December 2022. He wanted to show a similar level of commitment since I was moving for him. We knew it would be a long engagement going into it, just maybe not this long, LOL. After a few big events and a year and a half later, we moved back to the Midwest. He's used to moving, grew up an Air Force kid. I guess my question is, between being broke grad students, moving back and forth, and just starting our careers, both chiropractors.
You have to go to graduate school to be a chiropractor?
That there's two of them.
I thought you just had to like complete a Scientology course and like sell a bunch of vitamin supplements.
Two chiropractors.
Okay.
We're just getting our heads above water financially, but everyone wants to know when the wedding is. We won't have help from our families, only strong opinions, LOL. We'd love to have a big wedding, but don't want to spend a ton of money when there's smarter things to spend it on, like saving for a house. It has already been 2.5 years of being engaged. Do we go small, elope and save money, or do a real wedding? Destination, since everyone is coming from all over the country anyways. There doesn't seem to be a decent compromise. We don't want to regret not doing a real wedding when we look back on it, but the thought of spending all this money after we've worked so hard to get out of the red makes me sick. WWID Katie PS. Been a huge fan for years. Turned him into a fan when he saw you in Indianapolis last summer.
Okay, good. That's what I want to hear.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now you'll answer.
I also play that Civic Center. You know, I feel like we've had a question like this and people want to spend all this money and it's like, save for your future. Don't blow it on these things. I appreciate the destination idea simply because you could probably do it cheaper in some destination places. And if people are coming from all over, as you say, that might be an elegant answer. You're allowed to want to have a wedding, but I understand not wanting to blow a ton of money on it. So there are weddings you can have that are less expensive. You could also have it where you are and people can come to you. Not going to be that expensive in Iowa. People fly for weddings all the time. Your parents definitely will. His parents definitely will. And your good friends will. And the truth is, you don't really want anyone at your wedding that is frivolous. You want people who want to commit to that. So picking a destination gets like sloughs off a couple layers of people. There's ways to do it cheaply, but you know, and also you're going to get money for the wedding. And that you can, I understand you can put away for the house down payment. It doesn't have to be on a honeymoon. And I think that's actually very sweet if you're like, we want to afford a house and just register for things for the house.
Yeah.
You know, you could defer the honeymoon till later. but you don't want to do something now just for the fun of it that you know you'll regret later. And if you know you're going to regret not having the wedding, then just think of what is easiest and best for you. For that wedding, your family will follow. That's what I think.
Yeah. You can do a cheap, nice wedding.
It's about your friends and your family. And you probably, after all this time, you feel entitled. You're like, look, I've been engaged forever. I want the beautiful dress. Can your family help you at all? You know, I don't recommend, you should never go into debt just to do this. Cause like, what are you proving? The day's going to be special either way. I would pick the destination that works for you. And don't worry about who has to travel where. It's not like you're having it on Mars or in some like obscure, like Tahitian adjacent island. Like you're talking about like probably the Bahamas or something. So think about where you could do it cost effectively, and that would make you feel good, and then just go from there. But I guess your bigger goal is that you want to like have a house together. So then all the money that you take in from there goes to the house.
Right. And I think you also can pick and choose, like just because people have a lot of flowers at weddings, if flowers don't matter to you, but food does, spend the money on the food.
I mean, flowers are beautiful, but like it is such an ephemeral thing. Food is what matters. Alcohol is what matters. Dancing what matters. You know, dancing what matters. You heard me.
Dancing what matters.
Dancing what matters. Or pick a venue where everything's just like plug and play. So you have to think about what things matter to you.
Yeah, you can do it though. You don't need to elope. You can spend a little money and be reasonable.
Because also you've been engaged for so long. So you're like, this is what, let's do it. I deserve it for sure. It's like a slingshot you've been pulling back this whole time. So that's what I think. Listen to your heart and what you really want, and don't do anything that anyone else wants, especially since you're paying for it.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Hey, Julia Louis-Dreyfus here. If you listen to me on my Wiser Than Me podcast, you probably already know that I'm an investor and an evangelist for the Mill Food Recycler. There are a lot of reasons to love Mill, but for me, it's all about the impact. Keeping food out of the garbage is one of the most powerful things we can do to help the planet every single day. We're talking banana peels, carrot tops, old takeout. When that stuff heads to the landfill, it becomes a huge driver of climate change. If you already compost, great. But of course, there's the smell, the flies, the running to the curb every day with a little leaking compost bag made of cornstarch. That's where Mill comes in. It makes keeping food out of the trash as easy as dropping it in. It can handle nearly anything, from a turkey carcass to like 20 avocado pits. It works automatically while you sleep. You can keep filling it for weeks, and it never, ever smells. Mill makes dry, nutrient-rich grounds that you can use in your garden, add to your compost, feed to your chickens, or Mill can get them back to a small farm for you. But you kind of have to live with Mill to really get it, and that's why they offer a risk-free trial. Go to mill.com/wiser for an exclusive offer.
Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report. Learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Hi, AIA. I've been a big fan of Iliza stand-up for several years, but recently started binging the podcast while on maternity leave, and I love it.
Thank you.
My question is about timing of life events and feeling stuck. For context, I am currently 32 years old, female, and I met my husband when I was 23 and he was 29. We were married when I was 26, which reflecting on now feels like I was just a child. I had my first baby when I was 27 and just had my second and last at 32. You got all that
Good
math?
for you. Yeah. You're feeling great.
Along the way, I've grown up a lot. I've got my master's degree in school counseling and started a career which gives me a deep sense of purpose that I feel passionate about. My problem is that I constantly have a feeling of loss over committing to these huge life choices at such a young age. I don't regret the timing of my choices because I ended up with my supportive, loving husband and our two amazing children, but I can't help but feel like I missed out on a decade of purely having fun with friends, traveling, and getting more deeply into my hobbies. I do spend time with my friends now and make time for things that bring me joy, like dancing, concerts, taking trips. However, as a mom of two small children, it's not the same as if I was doing these things at a younger age without so much responsibility. do I need to shift my attitude? I feel a sense of shame and guilt even asking about this. Like I should be grateful for the amazing things I do have. Do you have any advice to help me feel unstuck in this thought pattern? Thanks so much. You guys are the best.
I can't get you unstuck because it's just not going to do it. But I can tell you two things. One, the way that we understand gratitude in 2025 as, I mean, I guess you're like elder Gen Z, or maybe you're like a young millennial at this point. But the way that we understand it with the internetification of the demand that women be grateful is not what gratitude is about. So you as a woman, we ask that women demonstrate how grateful they are and constantly be talking about it because we always want women to be humble. It doesn't matter what you have. You are allowed to mourn the loss of things. You are allowed to fantasize. You are allowed to think about the grass being greener. And that doesn't mean you don't love / are not grateful for what you have, okay? That's like saying like you're healthy, so you shouldn't want shinier hair. Like it's human to always want things. I will tell you that even if you had done these things and you had your children later, then you wouldn't be in a place of fantasizing. You would be in a place of mourning. And moms talk about this all the time where you kind of like mourn is a tough thing, but like mourn the life that you used to have, the person you used to be, because becoming a mom changes you. So you're either going to be fantasizing about how it could have been or mourning the fact that you don't do it anymore. There is always time for that. Whether you get that time back after your kids are grown up or you're a little bit older, I hate to say this because single women are going to hate me. What you missed out on is all the things that we do in the pursuit of finding out who we are and finding a partner. If you think about it, when you get dressed up and you put on your push-up bra and you're wearing the tiny skirt, you're doing it for the most part to attract usually male attention, but someone's attention because you're hoping to meet someone. You're hoping to look pretty enough when you go out and you party and someone sees you and you meet someone and you did all that. So I guess at the core of it, what is it that you're missing? Do you wish you had slept with more people? Do you wish you had just experienced more when you were younger? Like, it seems like all of the things that we do when we're younger are on our way to becoming the person that we're going to want to be. So maybe it's reframing it just a little bit because you got what you wanted. What you did want was to be a mom of 2 people. You're saying, I wish I could just go, because it's hard to like take a vacation without your kids because you miss your kids the whole time. I would not mourn it or be upset about it. I would let those thoughts pass through your mind, acknowledge them, play out the fantasy in your head. Take a girls' weekend if you want. Take an overnight trip. And what you're going to find is that everything you want is waiting at home. So maybe it's about carving out, you sound like maybe you're like a little tired, carving out a little bit more time so that you can explore those things a little bit and realize that you are satisfied with the life that you have. If you're not, that's a bigger thing.
But also this idea of like being footloose and fancy free, being able to travel and stuff. Guess what? You had your kids a little earlier, so they're going to grow up. They're going to leave the home.
That's
and
what
then
I said.
You're also, as a young 20s person, you don't have the money to do good trips usually. Now you're an established adult.
Yeah. Yes, you'll have to pack more vitamins. But like, there's always time for that. And if those things were a priority, then you would have done them. If you really wanted to do all those things, you would have said to the guy like, hey, I'm not ready. But you were excited and anxious to get to the life that you have now. Yeah. And that's great. And there's so much to be said for doing these things when you're younger. So there's nothing wrong with the way that you're feeling. And we as women beat ourselves up. And we always use the word guilt and gratitude. And I'm feeling so bad. It's not getting you anywhere. So think about it. And if you think about it, you're like, what I really just, at the core of it, like, I just want to dance or I just need a night away. Organize that. Carve out that time. And I know that's crazy to say because everybody's so busy and you have jobs and our economy is nuts, but you have a husband, you gave him 2 beautiful children. Maybe he can help you with that. You know, what is it that you really want? Or are you just fantasizing about what you don't have, which we all do?
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, if you had spent all this time up until now, like a lot of women who write in, fulfilling yourself and partying and traveling and doing all this, you'd be like, where's my partner? I want to have kids. So we're fucked either way.
Yeah.
But don't be so hard on yourself. You don't have to you don't owe gratitude to anyone. I hate it. I hate that. I hate women talking about how grateful they are because it's often demonstrative and it's always on a podcast so that other women won't hate them.
I'm going to start a spinoff called Gratitude.
I'm not fucking grateful for my body. I fucking worked for it. I'm not grateful for this career. I fucking clawed it out of nothing. Gratitude. Give me a break.
Okay, we got a question like just now that was just submitted as I'm looking at our Patreon that is like somehow the biggest shit stirring question, but it's not. But I need to read it to you because I was like, oh no, the poor vegans. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Somebody wrote in, a man, I believe, based on their name. Low stakes question that's been plaguing me for ages. Do I tell vegans eating Oreos that their sugar, and almost all sugar we eat, is processed using bone ash, animal bones? I want them to know so they can make the choice where they fall on it, similar to honey, but I don't want it to seem like I'm attacking or really care. It makes no difference to me. I just want them to be informed.
Then don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
No,
what you want
to say, ha ha,
that's right.
I got you, vegan.
You don't care about being informed because if you didn't care, you wouldn't care. What you care about is the look on their face when they realize when you go to someone who you think is holier than thou and you say, actually, there are animal parts. And they're like, oh no, my argument. Don't say it because it's not coming. If you want to say it to be contentious, do it. But don't do it as if you're like, I just want you to know the facts. They have eyes. They have convictions. They know how to look up stuff. It is not on you.
Yeah.
It's just not on you. It would be different if, like, for religious purposes, someone was like, I can't eat anything involving an animal. And you're like, oh my God, by the way, then don't if you cared. But I don't care.
Yeah.
They know. People know. They may not know that. And by the way, you don't know that. You don't know that that's the case. You don't know that every processing plant involves bone ash. You don't know. So you don't know.
I don't know how it's.
Even if we did know.
Yeah.
It also might be one of those things where like you just cannot escape it unless you're just like eating a carrot out of the ground. And for that matter, like what's in that soil? Bunch of dead dinosaurs, that's for sure. So
every time you go to Disney, somebody's throwing a handful of their grandpa's ashes in your mouth. So you can't go to Disney anymore.
It's the Disneyland experience right in your mouth. You get that Plaid Pass. Grandma goes right in your mouth.
Okay.
Haunted Mansion.
A few episodes ago.
That's why it's called Splash Mountain. It's a splash of ashes.
Splash of ashes are chunky. I know you don't like. I talk about ashes a lot on the show. We'll move on.
You talk about cat ashes a lot.
That's what you've accused me of, but I've touched people ashes too. Not to brag.
That's actually Johnny Cash's full name, Johnny Cat Ash, and they shorten it to Johnny Cash.
That's gonna be my folk song name.
Cat Ash.
Johnny Cat Ash.
Oh, you're gonna keep the Johnny?
Yeah, or no one's gonna know what it is.
You're an it? What is that?
The performance.
And
then I sing songs. Ring of Fire, but it's about like ringworm.
Okay.
A few episodes ago, now we have a lovely question from a lovely listener. A few episodes ago, I believe you mentioned giving fruits and vegetables from the locals farmers market as party favors for your daughter's birthday. I love that idea. And I've done the same for my son's birthday and had my daughter grow flowers and give them to her friends at her birthday.
Oh my God, that takes some planning. She grew them?
She has like a little garden, I guess. Yeah, I love that.
Little and like individual pots. That's so sweet. I made that part up, but that's so sweet.
Might just be, but I'm sure they were put in little pots for the friends.
I love that.
Since the end of the school year is nearing, I would love to hear any ideas you may have as gifts for teachers and or daycare workers. One of my youngest boys has been a little extra challenging, and I would like to gift his educator with something special. He and his brother, they're twins, are in their last year at daycare and headed to kindergarten, so it would also be a goodbye gift. Now, you did answer this, Iliza.
5-hand massage. 5-hand massage. Don't tell them where the 5th hand comes from. I did answer it. I'm trying to think of when I answered
said
this.
Gift certificate to a local coffee.
No. Read it as me.
Oh, okay. You don't have an accent.
What do I say? Just do me. Just do me.
A gift certificate to a local coffee house.
I sound like
shop. I was just trying to get some energy going.
Yeah.
And it just came out as loud.
That's fair.
You said, but also wine is always good, you said.
I said a gift certificate to a local coffee shop, especially if it's one that you know they pass. Maybe there's one by the school, something.
Now,
like what?
Because you already commented, Ashley did follow up. I've given wine champagne before, kind of wondered whether it might not be appropriate. And I need to share that as a child in middle school, a teacher wrote a paper on me, which sounds like there's something really wrong with me.
She studied you?
He was
Okay.
like taking courses on like gifted children. This sounds like I'm bragging or saying something really horrible about my childhood.
What are you gifted at?
School.
Are you?
Yeah. I did school
That's
real
why-
good.
That's why you like that job so much. You love an institution.
I like an institution, but
You like school so okay. What's the square root of 15?
I don't know.
Pretty sure it's 3.
No, that would be 9. The square root of 9 would be 3. 15 would be
4.
not a whole number. No, that would be 16.
Okay.
But okay, all this to say, the teacher like came to our house to like interview my parents, all this other stuff. And so then at the end of the school year, like my dad brought him beer, but he like brought it on campus to a middle school. So he had to like sneak it and be like, hey, I brought this for you, Mr. Whoever. And I'm sure that the teacher was like, well, fuck, what am I going to do?
Put it in your teacher cubbyhole. I mean, you're asking me what's a good gift. I get how well do you know the teachers? You know, like you can't give them like a massage gift certificate. I don't know why I'm hung up on massage. That's why I'm thinking
Really,
of like, I think a gift at its best is something useful that person would never buy for themselves.
Yes.
And so is there, I don't know what kind of town you live in. Is there a restaurant that's really nice that everyone loves that you could give them a gift certificate to that restaurant? Like something, the perfect gift is where you're like, oh my God, we have a gift certificate for this.
Yeah.
We have a coupon for this. I
Let's
do
do
have a
it.
Starbucks gift card. I'm a big fan of a lot of little things in a cohesive theme. So, you know, a
Yes.
nice mug from like a local potter with a Starbucks, some coffee shop gift card, and then like a little thing of cookies, even though you wouldn't do them together, something like that. Fucking Amazon gift card. That's what teachers want, cash. That's what they want.
They really do just want cash. I think if there is a clever and creative way you could give cash, whether it's a plant or a coffee cup with the cash
I
in
know.
it.
I know.
Yeah.
Get a money plant. You know, those little, they look like twisted bamboo almost. Get a money plant. And then I would clip an Amazon gift card, a Target gift card,
Yeah.
a Starbucks gift card.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Because giving cash is like a cheap thing to do and you're not at a wedding, but things that are converted to cash.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Bed Bath & Beyond exists anymore. I think it's gone to the great beyond. But, you know, Sephora for the guy. Be like, I know your secrets.
I
You
got a
shitty bitch.
$15 like cash card, gift card for doing jury duty where I'm like, you couldn't just give me a
Is
check.
that legal?
You
Is that
get
legal?
you get paid $15 for a
Oh,
day.
like on a Visa. Got it.
on a Visa. But I'm
Uh,
like, now I'm gonna like have like 79 cents left. You know, I was really annoyed. I was like, give
You know
me
what
a
you could do?
check.
I know what you could do.
Hmm.
And it is because they sponsor the show, but it's also a great idea. Gold Belly.
Oh, yes.
Find out where the teacher's from and get them something from that city, like
Yeah.
a famous deep dish pizza or something from a deli in New York or something,
Mhm.
or a gift certificate, obviously using code. Was it Eliza? None of the codes
Listen to
are
our
never the same.
podcast.
That's why it's hard. It's never just Eliza. It's like Eliza 90. Please look that up. Or just pull up the document. I'll fucking do it. Hold on. No, I'll do it myself. I'll do it faster.
You're not going to do it faster. Do you know where the documents live?
Oh, you're going to fucking burn. I got it right here.
No.
Yeah, it is. Right here. Here it is.
No.
Yeah, here it is.
No.
Eliza. It's Eliza.
What do they have to do?
20% shipping off your first order. I'm good at school.
If it
Obviously,
is
you didn't
with
get to
promo code
looking up
Eliza.
Promo code Eliza.
Oh my gosh.
Now who's an honor student? Little twerp. What almost came out, I almost called you a fat bitch. And I was like, that won't be funny. That's like my default name.
Right.
And I was like, that's going to be really hurtful.
Yeah, people don't like that as much as like a fat bastard, you know?
I'm so sorry. That's because people aren't real feminists and I wouldn't have meant it. And that's not anything. It was like the go-to.
The
things
yeah.
that-
Yeah.
Anyways, in your face, in your scholastic face, Emily, I
you
found
beat
it.
me. I know.
You had to close a lot of normcore porn tabs.
What's a normcore porn? Just two people having
You're
a
just
nice
watching two
time.
people do having a succulent Chinese meal.
See, now you know. I think we're gonna roll right into a body fluid confession off of that. The story. When my then boyfriend, now husband, and I first started dating, we met through his sister, who also happens to be my best friend. This happened a few years ago while we were visiting his family home. One morning, his parents and sister went out, leaving the two of us alone in the house along with their giant, elderly Rottweiler. We ended up banging in the sister's room, but had to, I know, this is why I
Why
went.
would you say banging?
So I went right off of normcore porn. We ended up banging in the sister's room, but had to leave the door open in case anyone came back unexpectedly.
Sure.
Afterward, my boyfriend got up.
We've all been there.
Why wasn't there a guest room? Afterward, my boyfriend got up and walked toward the door, only to trip and fall. That's when the old Rottweiler sprang into action and started humping him on the floor. Apparently, the dog had been watching us the entire time. That same week, he started humping other people too. The whole family was baffled. He'd never acted like that before. He eventually stopped, but it was very funny and we couldn't tell anyone. So he learned it from them.
Was this a confession?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed that part. And I was like, and?
No, it's a confession. They taught the Rottweiler how to hump.
How to love again. I feel like when a Rottweiler humps your leg, it's as close as you're going to get to being raped by an animal because
Like
there's
a
nothing you
dolphin.
can do. You don't want it to get mad at you. It's a Rottweiler. It's like, I set the tone.
And it's elderly, so you're like, I don't want to break his little limbs trying to remove him.
I still feel weird about the fat bitch joke. And I shouldn't have told you that it was even, but now I'm like, oh no, does she think that? I would never say that. I'm really regretting
You
even,
could say much worse things.
I would never, because you're my baby. You're my precious baby.
Okay, now we're going to do a non-bodily fluid to balance out the confessions. And this is just perfect because it's just like a young professional confession, which is, I am the assistant that no one cares about. And I put an automated response on my email 2 years ago. I was overwhelmed and angry about my overloaded schedule, and my work has a 24-hour response policy. So my automated response was something sassy, like, due to my traveling schedule, I will not be able to respond within 24 hours. I'll get to your email as soon as possible. My previous boss sent me an email saying I needed to take it off, LMAO. Now looking back, cringing, thinking about all the higher-ups that probably had my email bouncing back from their important all-staff emails. Shame on me, LOL. Now, confession writer in her, that is so tame, but it's very sweet that it's like thinking back like, oh, I wasn't polite enough in my out of office email. Like I thought it was going to,
Yeah.
she didn't sign it off like, I'm busy, fat bitch. Like she was just like, I can't get back to you
Nice
in 24
callback.
hours. It's like, it's fine.
I think her confession is that she kind of liked the idea that like these high-powered executives had to, but you know how I feel about an out-of-office auto response.
You don't
I hate
believe
them
in
so
them. I
much.
know.
I think they're very self-important and no one's like, I'm just like, you can check it.
Yeah.
But for her, it's different. Well, how adorable. I hope your expectations are higher in life and I hope you do worse things.
I say much meaner things now. And my out of offices, once you get to a certain point, you know, my out of office is just like, I'm gone.
You went through something this week. We don't have to go into it so no one knows where you work. But Emily, she and I had to have a chat about what she was going to do.
I am mad.
What'd you end up doing? Did you say you would do
I have
it?
further calls where I believe I'm going to do it, but I need to.
I knew you would. This is why my powers are wasted on you.
Well, yeah.
All right, fine. You're going to edit this out, aren't you?
I did just write down a time code to remove some, but not all. Some, but not all.
I want to keep my home. Next question.
So here's something I was thinking about recently, right? We all wear headphones, but for the most part, people tend to use one of two kinds. Either the big cans that go over your head and they make your ears sweaty, or the brand that rhymes with Rare Bods, right? The truth is, we deserve headphones as versatile as we are. Meet JLab. Their headphones come in so many different colors, and they have different headphones for every type of activity you might be doing, because headphones aren't one size fits all. For travel, you could do the Epic Lux ANC over-ear headphones, super comfortable and sleek looking with the longest active noise canceling playtime at 60 plus hours, right? That's enough for a connecting flight and then some. For walks or working out or physical activity, there's Epic Sport ANC 3. These are a secure fit. They're not going to go popping out when you're jumping around, and a long battery life. That's 68 hours plus. Hopefully you're not working out that long. And for those of you with tiny ears, for the smallest fit ever, check out J-Buds Mini. They fit on your keychain and they're smaller than a coin. JLab has so many versions of headphones for all the different versions of, well, you. Look for the blue box at retailers everywhere or shop jlab.com and use code Iliza for 15% off your order today.
This episode of Ask Iliza Anything is brought to you by Booking.com.
I love renting a vacation home when I go somewhere. It's cozy, it's more personal, and if there's one thing I know about Ask Iliza Anything listeners, it's that you guys like to travel and you guys are hustlers. So why not rent out your home, especially if you live somewhere that people want to visit? Listing your vacation rental on Booking.com opens the door to more guests. That's just the truth. Booking.com is one of the most downloaded travel apps in the world, and it makes it the place to list your vacation rentals if you want to earn more with consistent bookings, reach new markets, and turn hosting into a steady income. You have total control over your property's calendar and finances. It's hosting on your own terms because you guys are hustlers. The best part is, getting started is super easy. It takes less than 15 minutes. Plus, if you're already listed on another site, Booking.com makes it easy to import your property info and get you going right away. Head to Booking.com to see how you can get started today. The reach is global, the bookings are consistent, and the control is yours. For the bookings you've dreamed of, list your property on Booking.com.
Let's see. What is our next question? Okay, we have a question for a child. Hey, Liza and Emily, big fan here. Eliza, your general attitude is a breath of fresh air. And Emily, you almost always say what I'm thinking.
You almost always agree with Iliza.
My question is for my 11-year-old who occasionally listens with me when we're in the car. Gives us lots to talk about, and I very rarely have to fast forward, basically only through the sex stuff. Yeah.
What about the diarrhea
and all the fat
stuff?
bitch stuff, I guess.
Today's going to be a real rough one.
Sorry.
Editing finger. All right.
Anyway, I wanted to get both of your advice because I think you might have different views on this one in particular, and both probably helpful. The situation is this 11-year-old. She isn't loving her school at the moment. Socially, the kids are a little rowdy, and culturally, she's maybe a bit of an outlier. She's sheltered compared to many of her classmates. She has a few decent friends, but all boys, and definitely feels the absence of girls. It's like the girls are too sophisticated, like into makeup, boyfriends, a bit of cattiness, but the boys are a little boring, and she's finding it hard to connect.
They're so boring.
Basically, the question is, what do you do when you're an almost teenager struggling to fit in? For context, she's super intelligent and emotionally mature for her age, but has always found it tricky to insert herself into social situations. Thanks so much for the great advice in general and for being big sister.
You know what I would do if I were the mom? I would throw a party at the house just for the girls. It doesn't have to be a sleepover. Your girl, you don't want to force girls, like you need to love makeup and all these things. She might like those things and just doesn't know the entry point, or she's not into them. But I would ask her, to this little girl that's listening to this, like, what are you intimidated by it? Or are you really just not into it and you want to go play with a microscope or something? But as a way to normalize them to her and she to them, I would throw a little party at the house, maybe moms and daughters or something, or just host all the girls. And it can be something like a Candyland or a tea party or a swim party or something. Because she'll find someone to be with just as a way to like open up. That might be cool. That's what I would do. But I also am not like, you're using kind of like coded language. So I don't really know what the setup is. But it might just be about including her.
I think she's not someone who is inserting herself into a situation. And 11-year-old catty girls are not making a natural opening and inviting in someone they see on the periphery.
Right. So I'm saying throw a party, maybe invite the moms too, if you can. Because I think that the presence of parents, like, hey, go talk to that little girl. Like, I think as parents, we all want our kids to be our best if they're open to that.
I think there's also an element of practice here where I wonder if you could get like a camp this summer or get her into something where she kind of has to get out of her comfort zone with people that she's not going to see every day.
Yeah, I was going to say that, like whatever she's into, send her to a camp for that. But that doesn't address the problem of being with those girls that you don't fit in with there are girls in the class that she's going to fit in with. This is also just a part of growing up where you never feel like you totally fit in. I like my party idea. Because it might be like, oh my God, we never thought of her this way.
But what's she going to do at the party? They're still going to all go talk to each other. How is she going to insert herself?
A lesson in hosting. And this is, hey, I just think that there is a way and by the way, only 2 people can be talking at a time. Like you can talk to one of the other girls that feels like a little left out. Like it kind of might even the playing field if it's all at your house and it's this really cool thing and it's a fun pool party. Maybe you have an activity for the girls to do or something, or it's like, I just think that there's a way to have a controlled environment where your daughter gets to shine just a little bit. Unless she hates that idea. But I mean, also, do you know the other moms? Could you just organize a play date?
Yeah, because the thing is, she's not naturally putting herself out there. But I think it's also going to change when you get into like middle school, especially high school, when it kind of segregates out into like different classes and stuff where she's going to find more people. Yeah.
Find the hottest boys in the class, invite them over, and then just invite a couple girls.
So
those girls know that, oh my God, we went to 11-year-old's house and she had all the guys here. She must be so cool. Don't invite the popular girls. And then she will reign supreme. She will emerge as popular.
This is very Mean Girls, but I just want to send us photos of all the 11-year-old boys. We'll tell you which ones are the hot ones. You should invite over.
The hot ones. Send over a picture of that daughter of yours too. We'll tell you if she's too hot. Maybe that's why the other girls are weird to her.
I get. I'm pretty good. I think it's a skill set. And you're good at this too, of being able to just go up and be like, hey, because you get to a point where you don't care. Right now, she cares very much. And it just is building up that confidence. Once she feels good about it, it's going to be easier for her to, because it's like, hey, you go in and they're all talking about something boring. You can extricate yourself.
Set up, maybe it's a 2-on-2 play date. Like invite 3 other girls. Do not invite 3 girls total. Like do not invite 2 girls, but maybe the 4 girls. Maybe it's a small group. Maybe like, hey, do you want to, let me call like 3 of your friends and we'll all go to a theme park, or we'll all go, I'm against getting your nails done, but get your nails done. You know, just something special.
Yeah.
A bounce house. I don't know. But she needs just like a little arena where maybe she can shine a little bit.
Yeah, so that they know she's cool. Because it sounds like guys don't care. They're not, so they're all like, yeah, she's cool. But we're at the point where they're all so much dumber at that age.
No,
and
it's also, you don't want to watch them play fucking video games and like play basketball outside. No. As the girl that had a lot of uncool guy friends, it's like, it's cool if we're going to like ride bikes, but like, I'd rather talk to that cute boy who's never going to talk to me. Okay.
Things turned out okay for you though.
Read books on Wicca in my bathroom and try to build an altar and then go watch Beetlejuice.
Was that what you were up to?
Sure. I had all the stuff. And I wasn't even like, it wasn't about the devil. I was just like, witches seem cool. I'll just wear this t-shirt with a Far Side cartoon on it and baggy pants and be by myself a lot. Because my parents are divorced and I can't process that until I'm much older.
Yeah.
Like this week. All right.
Yeah. This week. You got it. You figured it out this week.
It took $325 an hour to really begin to process that at 42.
Hey, at least something's happening.
It's getting processed.
Yeah.
It's tough. Being 11's tough.
It is. Being 11 is really hard. And I'm also simultaneously so scared of like middle schoolers. Like you could not pay me to teach at a middle school. Like children that are 9 to 13 are going to bully me.
She needs to know that what she is totally fine and special. And she needs to find a way to lean into that. And if you can't get it from those kids, then put her in an environment where she does feel good.
Ooh, here is
Send her to your house.
And I'll be like, boot camp for 11-year-olds. No, but I do wonder, it sounds like at school, probably on recess, the boys are doing this, the girls are doing that. You need to find something. I feel like this happened in middle school all the time where suddenly like one kid would get everyone very into Foursquare or, you know what I mean? Like so what do you want to do on your little break? Set something up and people will, if you build it, they will come.
Pogs. Bring
Get
it
some
back.
Pogs. Honestly, like anything like
Slammers.
that. If you're the first one to do Pokemon, like anything like that, where it's like, I'm controlling this activity, it gives you a little power.
Are you pretty good at trend forecasting? All right, next question.
Hello, Iliza, Emily, all the sweet babies. Of course, hot Scotty. I need some advice, and therapy just won't do for this one. I hope that you can cut through this wreck and help me get on with my life. I, 29 female, was married for several years to a man who is the complete opposite of me. He was sort of a rebound that I clung to as more of a life raft, a huge mistake on my part. I learned my lesson and left. When I left, I had to figure out how to afford all the bills of our home that he dumped on me and all the debt. He walked away with his, quote, share of the house and no debt, leaving me with every debt and credit card he had. I don't know how that's allowed. I had a BA and was desperate to make ends meet.
She's like, he was also my lawyer.
Yeah. I have a daughter, age 9, not the ex-husband's from a prior relationship, and I simply had to figure it out for her. I had a job, but it was barely $16 an hour. My mom ended up pushing for me to become a teacher. She's a teacher through an internship where I would be paid while I got my license. So I went for it. I have now been a teacher for over 3 years, and it is the bane of my existence.
Oh.
Now, I like this because I feel like teachers are always so like noble, like good. It's hard.
I'm about the only honest one. She's like,
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. I hate these kids.
I hate teaching. It is horrible, awful, inane, thankless. I have never been so isolated and emotionally manipulated and verbally abused in my life. I have never wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be an artist, get a degree in music, be an actress or a comedian or designer. Instead, I am approaching 30 and I feel that although I am accomplished in the eyes of many, I am not accomplished in anything I want. I did acting classes and a fair amount of writing for stand-up, but being a teacher, I am so burnt out and sad and unfortunately broke from all the student loans I had to take to be a teacher that I either can't afford or am so emotionally dejected by my career that I can't do them. Expenses like hiring a babysitter to go do classes or go do stand-up are insane. I'm in the process of selling my house to pay off debt and escape this hellhole, but I can't seem to get off teaching because I do need the money. And in my area, SoCal, but the rural crap part, is devoid of jobs unless I want to make $16 an hour again or magically become a nurse. I feel like I've been dragged on a company retreat and shoved onto the coal walk only to discover that the other end is a caldera of lava and behind me, everyone has pitchforks. I have nowhere to run to.
What was that word?
Caldera?
Ooh.
Yeah. I am just letting my feet burn.
Spanish for cauldron?
I think it's something with lava. A large bowl-shaped depression on the surface of a volcano. Volcano
So cauldron was
words.
named for a caldera.
Mm.
Okay.
I have nowhere to run, so I am just letting my feet burn. Do I jump in? Do I turn back? Is letting my feet burn going to save me? Iliza, what do I do next? I am miserable and can't seem to find another job. My parents think I have it so good and aren't supportive. Plus, I can't leave this area for another few years due to my daughter's custody situation. I feel like if this
guy,
is my... I hate this
was a
man.
different guy. I hate who you choose. I hate both of them.
Oh, right. Both of them. I feel like if this is my life, I don't even want to live it. I know that some dreams are meant to stay dreams, but I am hardworking and want so much more for myself than to be a teacher. I want some of the dreams to become realities. What can I do? Please help Allie from SoCal.
Well, I wish I knew where you lived.
Rural
Exactly.
SoCal.
I know. I mean, it's Southern California is huge. The good news is you're angry. And anger produces comedy. So you have the seeds.
Yeah.
And the better news is that you can write about this.
Yeah.
So I would start with that. If you really want to be a comedian and you want to be a performer, you need a point of view. And I think that what you're talking about is probably the experience of a lot of women, not just being financially screwed over by someone, but by being stuck in a custody agreement that is harmful to you because you don't want to be there. And I think it's a universal feeling of being stuck in a career that you don't like. And the teacher aspect, like the thanklessness and being abused, I think these are all very valid, very real themes and things. And it sounds so lame to be like, you could make a TikTok. My TikTok is, and like Instagram is filled with people who either are teachers or nurses sort of making fun of it. You could film those very easily. And if they're really funny, there's your new career. But I would start writing everything.
With your job, not losing your
Sure,
job.
sure. You know, it depends on what you're saying. I'm just saying. You can think of one guy, there's this like big guy who imitates every teacher ever. Like, is that your lunch?
Yes.
Okay, that I'm going to give it to you. Like he just does, it's just a very funny impression. We've all had that teacher.
I
write down everything.
But here's
every night.
Eliza, here's part of it though. You're saying write down everything, which yes, I agree, but she is feeling so burnt out from this job she hates that she doesn't even have it in her to write. So are you someone that thinks like you just got to sit down for an hour every night? Like what's the fix for this?
It's the balance. The pain is worth it because you get the art.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it will have been for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It will have been for naught. And you will find that when you're writing it, put it into a screenplay. You don't even need to get Final Draft. Put it into Word if you don't know how to use Final Draft or something. Just write. Just sit down and write. Let it pour out of you. You are very descriptive in the words you were using. Write these things. Write an op-ed. Write to a local paper. Write about a topic, the thanklessness of it. Reach out, see if somebody wants to run an article about it, you know? I'm just saying there has to be a creative outlet. There are a lot of people who hate their jobs and they just live for the weekend. Your daughter is 9. She can play on her iPad while you go to an improv class. She can sit there. She's not a little baby that's going to wander off. There are creative ways around this. It's just a little bit further. I know that that's tough because she's 9 and she's still got all of high school. Is there a way you could revisit this custody agreement? Is there a way if you got a better job, you could go? It just feels like any part where would be wiggle room, you're saying why there isn't that. There has to be. And if there can't be, nobody can control the way that you feel about things, like your mind. You can decide, great, I clock in. Maybe you can find a way to make it fun or find a way to set a boundary so people don't talk to you that way. You clock out and then it's your time. I know that you're exhausted, but I really think art is the way through. And anytime we go through something bad in our lives as comedians, the only silver lining is that that is your pain to get to write about. That is your tragedy. That is your trauma. That is the only upside to any of this hell, is that you get to digest it and express it and create something fun with it. You did these things very young and you got stuck and you, like a lot of women, you were with the wrong guy and now you wish you knew now what you knew then, but now you know what you know and you can decide how you're going to spend these next few years. You can decide to be a prisoner of your own mind or you can make the absolute best of it. I would write everything down. I don't know if it's stand-up or a play that you produce locally and people come to see you, or I don't want to say a podcast, but a Substack, a forum, just something. You need an outlet. What you need is an outlet, a creative outlet.
Yeah. Yeah. Career-wise, I don't know, but
I'm not clear on the limitations. Like it's either maybe you work in such a rural area where it's either like work at a processing plant or do this. I'm sorry that it's awful. There's got to be some wiggle room. There's got to be a way.
Yeah.
To make it just a little bit better for your own sanity.
Right. Like, what are the biggest problems with the job? Yeah.
Yeah.
But everything's hitting
different
you right
school?
now. It's just too much going on. So everything just feels insurmountable.
But you probably felt a little bit better after you wrote all that and you were so eloquent in the way that you wrote it. Keep writing. Create the thing you want. Start an open mic night at a bar by your house, a restaurant by your. They're very easy to do. Don't ask anyone's permission. Just do it.
I mean,
right back
ask
to
the
us.
bar.
Well, yeah, you can't just show up with the mic. But
Show with a mic like, all right. You ready?
I just often find there's like research and then there's like prohibitive research. Like there are people who are like, okay, so if I was going to do this, I have some questions. Just do it. Just do it. Go to the bar. What's your off night? Can I run an open mic? Put up a thing.
Yeah.
Just do it. Or a black box theater or something. Don't just go. There's no rules for art. Just do it.
All right.
All right.
Top of the cob.
It's the top of the cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
You know what? I didn't do the and but thing. I wrote it down. I didn't do it once. What does it say? Every time I write down my bottom of the cob, I'm like, I'll remember it. You can write it sloppy.
No.
My bottom of the cob is realizing that getting ready to go out is more fun than going out. And that's actually what I was looking forward to. Like I played like T-Pain radio on my phone and I like really took my time to get ready. Remember when you go out with your girlfriends, like it was so fun to get ready together. And I remember thinking like, oh, I wish I had a girlfriend with me so we could get ready. My bottom of the cob is realizing the buildup is more fun than the event.
Yeah.
That's where we are now. Layering moisturizer is what I dream about all week.
How many layers?
Well, we got your moisture mask. Then you've got your serum. Then you've got your primer, moisturizing primer, so you got to layer it.
All right. Well, fan bottom is also like kind of juicy, like not a question, but like, okay, bottom of the cup. After years of waiting, you finally come to New Zealand, and my narcissistic ex-husband intentionally fucks with my ability to fly to Auckland. I'm in Christchurch to be able to see you. It's been a shit show of a year, and I was so excited to hear you're coming to New Zealand, so I'm absolutely devastated that I ended up having to miss your only show here. Now, did he steal her passport?
Yeah,
did
what
he
is
put
that?
her in jail? I just want to follow up on this bottom. What did this man do?
Yeah, that's weird. I hate it. There's so many people on this podcast that are like, and I have a vengeful ex-husband. And I just...
No. All these men, how do they have the time? My bottom is that my home, like I know my closet. Did I talk about I put desiccant bags in there? I was like, things smell weird when I wash them. I put them in my closet, then they smell weird. Just full of water in there, man. I just bought a dehumidifier. Wow. Like it's not, you can't see it anywhere, but I put those like desiccant bags and it's sucked up.
It's so pulling it from the atmosphere.
Pulling it because it's so humid here. So now I'm like, do I need to do like remediate? Like how much of it is just, I live in Georgia and it's the second floor, and how much of it is there something in the walls?
And I think there's not enough in the walls. I think your house isn't insulated properly.
That could be it.
But you can use that water for your plants.
I should, because I've just been dumping it down the sink.
Just let it be humid. Who cares?
I don't want my clothes to smell. And also I have things, valuable things. My posters, my signed posters.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Well, I'm sure Charlize will.
You think I've got Charlize?
Sort of paid. I meant to say Sandra Bullock.
You think I got Sandy?
I do.
I don't.
Sandy.
I have Nev Campbell. I have Mira Sorvino.
They will be at another nerd con for you to get a picture. But I hear you. Those are your things. You gotta call in an expert, a desiccation expert. We had friends over. We went to a friend's house for dinner, and they made a delicious chicken. And he was like, I desiccated the bird, which is basically like a drying technique with salt over like a day or two. Yeah. But I just think desiccate it just sounds like so many awful things.
Yeah.
It's just so technical. Like I desiccated
yeah.
So violent. Okay.
It is.
Top. Noah and I have decided to watch Cheers from pilot to finale. And my top of the cob is having a show that you get to retreat to every night. And I crush like 3 or 4 episodes. And it's so brilliant. And it's so good. And I never really watched Cheers. But there's this like tingle you get when you see like Woody Harrelson. You see like a lot of actors that you've seen just in your life. Like this is where they started. And the cool thing is seeing Kelsey Grammer, who played Dr. Fraser Crane. He appears at the bar and he's kind of in the background. And that's the longest running character on television in television history is Dr. Fraser Crane. And it's kind of cool to like witness the episode before he had that show.
Yeah.
It's just very cool. And he nailed the character line 1 and it has stayed that way. Like it's just a really cool education in American TV.
Yeah.
I'm just really enjoying myself. Yeah.
All right. Top.
Shelley Long is everything.
She's so talented.
Yeah. True Beverly Hills, baby. Top.
Classic film. Okay, fan top. I have an old ass Toyota, which I plan to keep forever. She's a hardy, handsome gal. Some of the interior lights have been out for probably years, and this week I finally did something about it. One YouTube video, and $10 later, I successfully swapped out all the lights using a butter knife, and I'm very satisfied with myself. Then I found another YouTube video and took 30 seconds to tighten some bolts I didn't know about and made the climate control knobs work again. I'm excited about how easy it was to fix all these things I thought could only be fixed by a car shop.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I guess it's good to do on an old car because you're like, well, if it goes wrong, it can't get any worse.
Right. I mean, now there's like too much technical garbage, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think my car has an engine.
My top is, I guess I got a tattoo. And it turned out very well. I'm very pleased. I mean, it looks really bad right now.
Let me see, because you said it was so gross.
You can see the skin coming off, right?
Wait, you can't extend your arm?
I'm trying, hold on.
Okay, for those of you looking at home, what is it, Emily?
It's 3 cat toys, a banana, a turtle, and a spring. And she just nailed it so hard. Like the artist, she starts putting the needle in and I'm like, I don't know. Like I've seen all of her work and it's incredible, but she could just go nuts. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Are you going to get another one?
No.
That's what they say.
Yeah. And everybody also said, oh, it doesn't hurt. Actually, your adrenaline kicks in. No, it doesn't. It hurts. It hurts the entire time. It's needles and it hurts you. And I spent the whole time like this. I had one hand clenched and one eye clenched, like as though that helps. So I'm like, the whole time she's doing it. Yeah.
I always feel like people who get private part tattoos, like they do it because they're like, don't you want to see? Like they think it's like sexual and it's like this, you're gross and this guy is like not thrilled to be
needles.
like by your like vagina flat next to your thigh.
Right.
Oh my God, ecstasy. Well, if you're listening to this, it is May 21st on the Wednesday. And due to popular demand, we will be doing my Iliza's Brunch of Moms June 7th at the Irvine Improv. You can see the trailer for the show, The Rock is Good Time and What's to Come on my Instagram. You can get your tickets at Iliza.com or at Improv. I think that's the website.com. Lots of giveaways, lots of fun. And they loved it in Brea, so we're bringing it to Irvine. Different part of Orange County. Come on out.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yes.
We got to go.
She's done.
We got to go. She's over it.